Hello, Yellow Jacket fans, and welcome to the first edition of Around the Horn with head coach Shelly Hoerner. I'm Nolan Alexander, and we thank you for joining us here today. Coach, opening day is right around the corner this weekend. It kicks off with a doubleheader against Missouri State on Saturday. Preseason practices about to wind up here. How have presentations gone?
Everything's actually been, great. It's been a great spring season so far. Obviously, we've had, our ups and downs as a team, but we are, we're more on the upswing right now, and just getting back into it from, winter break. But it's been great that, the team is really responding well to each other and to our coaching staff, and, there's a lot of excitement in the air.
When you got to the flats in the fall, you had to learn the players had to learn you and the coaching staff. How has your knowledge and as a staff as a whole improved with the team?
The players, getting to know them has been great. I was told that the players were great. They just were great people. They're great, talented athletes, but they're even better people, and that has really come true. And so it's been, exciting. Obviously, I was in and out in the fall, having a baby and so forth, so it was a little challenging getting to know them, but my assistants, got to know them probably a little bit better in the fall. And so that, that was great for, it's important that our whole staff knows the team inside and out, and me coming back in the spring after having the baby, it's been a great 4 weeks of getting to know the players and really having a rapport with them, and the better rapport that we have with the players, the more success we're going to have.
One of the best players returning for the Yellow Jackets is the defending ACC Player of the Year, Ashley Thomas. What does she bring to the team, Coach?
Oh, first and foremost, leadership. Ashley Thomas is just, she set the tone right from the beginning, as well as the rest of the seniors this past, the spring when we started. But she just brings, a level of intelligence to the game. She's a very smart ball player, first and foremost. But her work ethic, obviously her strength is, her bat and her speed. And she's a pretty darn good shortstop as well, defensively. But she's just been, just a great person to be around, and she's always wanting to learn, and it's been great. I mean, she's one of the true leaders of the team. You
spoke about this senior class, Coach. What's the personality of this senior class?
Crazy. Haley Downs just comes to mind right away. She, everyone says she's funny, and I'm learning that she is pretty funny. She doesn't even know she is. But 4 different personalities in the senior class. But they have just set the tone for this spring season. They've been very supportive of me throughout the whole, even the fall when I was gone, and now this spring, they've just come back with a different mentality. And that is pretty neat. As seniors, you got to lead this team.
That's fantastic. Coach, well, let's go around the horn. You spoke about Ashley Thomas at shortstop. So let's work our way around, and we'll start over at first base. What can we look for at first base this spring?
Well, at first base, we will most likely see Carly Fulham when she's not pitching. She's been pitching a little bit, and she'll probably come in to close some games for us. But she is, she's really earned the spot at first base. We'll also see Courtney Zizi has played a little bit of first base for us, so that's a possibility. Or Johnsky coming in from right field. She may play a little bit of first base if Fulham's pitching as well. So.
And then over at second base, I'm told we're going to have a change there?
We possibly will have a change. Maddie Lionberg has moved from third base over to second base, and Chelsea has gone to third base. But they're back and forth still, with Courtney Zizi at third base as well still. We have a lot of competition in practice, and I think that's what's really going to make this team successful is everyone competing on a daily basis to make each other better. So we've got a lot of options. And, it's going to be on a day-to-day basis. Right now, if you ask me who the starting lineup is, I don't really know. Which I know that's strange, but we're only a few days away, and we don't because it's, competing until game day.
How much is adding that extra depth as far as cross-training between positions help out your team?
I mean, who's ever hitting is really going to be in that lineup. So, of course, if people are utility players, they can move from position to position. That is going to make our team very successful.
Who do we have behind the dish?
Well, we have Alicia Rudnick and Caitlin Coffey. Those two will see the majority of time behind the plate. Rudd obviously has been behind the plate, a number of years for us here at Tech, and is just a leader behind that plate and has done a great job. She's got a phenomenal arm, is just very solid behind there. Caitlin Coffey, we've moved her. She's caught a little bit in her in her career, so she we've moved her there, and she's done a great job. learning how to be a better catcher. She just has tremendous work ethic, and loves to be behind that plate and be that leader. So we'll see both of them behind the plate throughout the season, and we also might see Courtney Zizi behind the plate a little bit too.
Okay. Have you seen Alicia Rudnick take on a leadership role as far as training Coffee and helping her with the ins and outs of the position?
Absolutely. Rudd is just a phenomenal person and a leader in general on and off the field. So she really has helped Coffee. But the thing with this team is that they help each other out all the time. They want the best for each other. And you don't see many teams want that, but they all have one common goal, and that's been pretty neat to see. And they're so cohesive. They all live together. So that's a little crazy to me that, you're there with each other 24/7 and, but they are very, very cohesive. And I really feel that, teams that are cohesive, are going to be successful on the field.
I agree, Coach. I agree. So. Let's move to the outfield. Who can we see in the corner outfield spots?
Oh, wow. Well, we've been moving everybody around in the outfield as well. Haley Downs has really solidified the center field spot, but we've been moving the 5 other outfielders from left field to right field to left field. So we've got in left field competing is Morgan Taylor, we've got Caitlin Cates, Sam Paranunzi, and then they also go to right field as well as Colleen Dara. She could move to either corner in the outfield. She's played some center field behind Haley, and Haley's been really, helping her in center field and just teaching her the ropes as well. But we've got, Katie Johnsky in right field, who's been a starter there as well. So I don't foresee Katie Johnsky going to left field, but most likely in right field. But the other 4 can be in right field or left field. So
when each of these players throughout the lineup step up to the plate, what do you expect to be the offensive identity of this team?
Speed. We've got a lot of speed on our team, and we talk about, whatever it takes, WIT, and you do whatever it takes to get on base, whether that's a walk, hit by pitch, an error, hit, whatever that is, do whatever it takes to get on base, and, we'll move you around speed-wise. We do have, obviously, some power in our lineup, and we're a good mix in our lineup. It's a good mix of, the short game to contact hitters and to power. So, again, like you said, we've got a lot of depth, and that's really going to help us. But the speed, I would say, is our biggest threat right now.
Do you know who the fastest player is on the team?
Ashley Thomas, Chelsea, and Haley. They're a good, those 3 in the foot race. I don't really know who would win, but again, it's getting good jumps on the bases. So, all 3 of them read the game very well, and so that's important in being able to steal bases and the amount of bases that they've stolen already in their career. Just excites me to be able to, run with these girls.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
You know what it is? I am very fortunate. I'm very blessed to be here and just fortunate, to be a part of this program.
Well, let's move into this circle. What names are in the mix for the rotation, Coach?
We've got junior Kylie Kleinschmidt. We've got freshman Nani Cabrales and Carly Fulham, who I said would see a little bit of time. So those, Nani and Kylie will be the mainstays of the team in the circle. So they've done a great job. Kylie came in this fall and has just turned a whole new ball game around. So I'm very proud of her and her mentality on the mound, working with our pitching coach Charlotte Morgan. She's just been great. And then Nani has really turned up her game. Obviously, as a freshman, a few adjustments in the fall, but this spring she's been phenomenal. So those 2 are very different pitchers as well. So I am looking forward to making sure that and using them in the correct situations. And Carly Fulham will come in, and she's very consistent pitching wise. So she'll come in and probably close some of the games. I don't foresee her starting, but she will come in and close some games out.
Well, Coach, you've gotten me excited. I hope the fans out there are excited as well. Home opener this Saturday, a doubleheader against Missouri State. I know you're looking for a great turnout. I
am. Everyone come out and support Georgia Tech softball. You'll love what you see. We've got a lot of excitement this year. Come out and support us. Go Tech.
Coach, thanks for joining us today, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
All right, fans, you can tune in to RamblinRec.com for all information on Georgia Tech softball.